Hey guys, this is Napoleon here from Napoleon Poker. I'm going to be going through some sort of microstake stuff today. It's 5NL, 6 max zoom on stars. And I thought I'd start making poker videos in case there's sort of people out there that aren't really sure with spots, what they should be doing in certain spots, how they should be playing certain hands against people that at these stakes will play sort of unpredictably or maybe not as you would expect. It can make it kind of hard at times to try and get a read on people. So the sort of format for this is I'm just going to go through my sessions and sort of look at what's going on. Bit of background about myself. I'm a student at the moment and playing mostly No Limit Hold'em, although I am trying to learn Pot Limit Omaha. But of course, as anyone that's played that game will know, it's not very fun when you go on like 20 buy and down swings are pretty standard. No, that hasn't happened to me, because it's micro stakes, they suck. I think it might happen, and to be honest, I think I still prefer No Limit Hold'em. For now, until at least I get good at PLO. So yeah, I'll just jump into the session. I got Ace King on top right, and it's been opened by sort of unknown, and I decided to three bet. It's pretty standard from there, especially at 5NL. You can definitely stack off, I think, with Ace King here, and the guy just shoves. If he bets like, if he re-raises that's like 110, 115, I'm almost more tempted to fold or flat than supposed to shove myself. But just because he shoves way over the top, it's a massive overbet. It just seems really fishy. He could wake up there with ace queen, ace jack, like just any random crap, king queen or something. And so of course I would be miles ahead, which would be ideal. And he showed up with queens, and we split the pot, which was fair enough. Um, Top right, ace jack. Second position, just always a raise. Six max, it's just too good a hand. I mean, I know full ring, you probably wouldn't want to raise that from early position. It can get you into a lot of trouble. But definitely six max, you want to be raising those kind of hands up. And bottom left, we hit the flush. We have a flush draw, and it's been checked to us, and we decided to just bet that. I mean, if we want to get paid off to make our flush, we got to start building the pot there pretty early. So I went ahead and bet it. Opened nines under the gun and made a standard C bet on a good board for us, and got a fold on bottom right, so that was pretty standard. Also raised king 10 top right, and some of you play on stars might not have used the right click fold option, which I'm using, which can make it really easy to just sort of fold through hands endlessly, just zoom through as the game says. But be warned, like whilst it makes it really easy, you will just fold aces. They will come up and you'll just snap fold them and you will cry like it's a bitch. So yeah, right click fold, really good, really lazy option, but you will fold aces, kings, ace king, whole bunch of hands if you're not paying attention. I don't think I fold any in this video, although I only played 10 minutes, so it'd be pretty bad if I did. Don't flop a 7 top left. Obviously we were set mining there, which is a shame, and gets checked again. And I think I just check it back. I mean, there's so many hands people can have here that I'm just crushed on, and I don't think a bluff is going to get through. Flop top 2 in a 3-bet pot. This is an interesting hand, actually, bottom left. I didn't see that. I raised and got 3-bet, flop top 2, and decided to check it back on the flop. I think his range here is like ace king. It's really weighted towards hands like ace king, ace queen that just blank the flop completely. The river is the 6, which obviously puts 4 to a straight out there. The only hand I can really be worried about there is 10s. And obviously he's like shoving it in there with 10s, or jack 10 I don't think we'd have a 3-bet with. So it's a pretty easy value bet on the river. And he just folded, so I'd be pretty certain he had like ace king, ace queen there. Just brick the flop and then bet the turn. Just trying to get me off my hand. Obviously I'd flop top 2 and wasn't going anywhere. But so that was pretty interesting hand. I open ace queen suited, under the gun top left. Pretty standard open. And I flop top pair. Pretty easy C bet. I mean, there's a lot of hands that hits this range, and we get one caller. Now my preferred line here is just to keep betting, and so I do. I get a call. I get one more call, and this river is really tough for me. I'm really thinking about check calling. I'm not sure, and I decided to bet it. I think there's some hands that can still call me here, King Queen being one of them. Maybe like I don't know, like Ace Jack, but those the only hands I can get value from. I'm just gonna call, and obviously the better hand's gonna be raising me there. So I think betting it and obviously folding to a re-raise is pretty plus EV there. I could check call and do some bluffs, but at these stakes, it's just I'm not sure if it's worth it to be honest. And I open ace queen top right, and do I get them to fold? Yes, I do. So that gets through. Um, ace five, nothing doing, bottom left, and just a lot of crap hands at the moment. That happens on Zoom, which is why I like it so much. People say, oh, why don't you 24 table instead? Why don't you 16 or 18 or 20 table or whatever you want to do instead of Zoom? Zoom isn't real poker. And I say, you know what, Zoom, you can just focus on four tables, you're never gonna get caught out. And on top right, I flopped a pretty sick hand. Flopped a flush draw, a straight draw, and I made the straight draw on the turn, which I'm just betting for value, and I got a load of value out of the guy. Don't really know what he had there. He could have had like jacks. Oh, that seems unlikely. I think he could have like shit that in earlier. Probably had like ace 10 or something, or like a random 10. May have had like a random 5. Um, like ace 5 or something. But I don't really know what he had. He was a bronze start, so he probably sucked. Although having said that, I'm currently a chrome star, which is not much to brag about. After not playing, going on some holidays and stuff, I've been demoted. Um, Not much going on at the moment. I got ace queen top right. I'm gonna give that a cheeky raise. Ace five suited and ace seven, so I've obviously got an open ended straight draw, and then I pair on the turn. Decided to just check it back and the bet, and I'm not really ahead of everything there. So many random eights or fives that make the straight. Eights or nines or eights or fours that make the straight even. I brick the flop on top left with ace 9 off. Ace 8 I have second pair on a pretty draw-y board. Quite a lot of combinations out there that can be drawing. Obviously 9 10 just hit the nuts. Flush draw. Pretty sure I'd be behind. Hopefully it just goes check check, and I get a free showdown. Probably take it down if it goes check check here. But he bets, and I just want to get rid of that. You just have pretty bad implied odds if you hit like another 8 or something. Ace 10's a pretty standard call, top left, blind on blind, and I flop top pair, and he checks it to me, and I want to just bet that straight away. That's really standard. You want to get value from hands that miss the flop. Ace king, ace queen, ace jack, they're all going to be calling there probably, because ace high can be good there a relatively large amount of the time, and then if an ace comes on the turn, I brick two pair, and he makes like top pair to kicker with ace king. I'm probably going to win a decent sized pot. Open tens, standard under the gun. Two overcards, not a great flop for us. Pretty likely that smashes into somebody's range. And then the ace again smashes into their range. So just really no value in continuation betting that board, especially not with two other players, or yeah, just two other players I think it is. But then three other players even. And then the river. I decided to make like a weird bluff here. It's bad. In the end, it turns out bad. But I decided to make a bet here. Make it look like a weak ace or something that just hit the turn but wasn't really sure about betting it. And of course I get raised as per, and of course it's a snap fold, but I still think that's not a bad spot to bluff at. I mean, I could have like a weak ace, like a suited ace that I raise with. Then obviously I blank the flop, hit the turn, but with two players to act, I decided to check and then try and get some value on the river. So it's plausible that I could have had a hand there, but obviously some guy must have had the nuts or some big hand, and he raised me up. Bottom right, I flopped top two, which is pretty great. Late 7, but obviously 9 10 or 5 4 5 9 has the straight. Turn brings the flush. I decide to bet, knowing if I get raised, I can probably make a good fold. And but they haven't folded, and I open ace king suited on the button, top right, and the guy just shoves. Just shoves again, and it's just an easy call. The guy had ace queen. Why is that an easy call? I think you got to be prepared to stack off with ace king, especially ace king suited in Zoom, especially six max. I think it's pretty standard. And again, similar to the hand earlier when the guy three bet, If he's three betting me with like aces, kings, queens, ace king suited himself, I think he'd be re-raising to like 110, 115, which would be what, like 22, 23 big blinds, which would be pretty standard. When they just shove it in there, like three hex raise is just so fishy. But anyway, guys, this has just been like a sort of test video, really. I hope you enjoyed it. There's gonna be more videos to come. Hopefully, I get back to playing some online poker myself. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye bye.